Now, Carl Frampton, how many out of 10 for your buddy tonight?
Out of 10, only because I know what Jack can do. Look, he won the fight clearly, but out of 10 for Jack, I would say only a 5 or 6 because he's just scratching the surface. Jack Catterall is one of the best fighters I've seen in the gym. I think it's going to take a quality opponent like Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez to bring that out. But we have to give Huya credit. He was such a tough guy. He stayed in there. He earned his money tonight. But Jack, good performance, but can be so much better.
The great benefit of this opponent, though, Carl, was that it did allow Jack to work on all the things that are likely to get rusty when you're not going into action for a year.
He gave him rounds. He hasn't been in the ring for a long time, so rounds were important. But I think his timing was a little bit off. I'm saying that just as he lands that shot and he drops him, but his timing was off for maybe half the fight anyway. But it was a good win, and that the opponent, it was a perfect opponent for a comeback fight after a year out of the ring.
David, a quick appreciation from you, please.
I thought it was Huya was the perfect opponent to bring the very best out in him. You know, he needed, after a year out, you need someone to ask you questions, you need someone to get in, make it rough and tough, and he definitely got a lot of rust out there. Looking at some of the big Ramirez and Josh Taylor fights out there, you need a fight like this before that. We were talking about him jumping straight in there.
Yes.
Such a good thing that didn't happen, so he can get in here now, get the rust out, so he can look at those mega fights later.
I think Ramirez and Josh Taylor will be looking at that thinking, no problem, but I'm telling you, Jack Catterall has so much more to come, and I can't wait to see them fights happening.
Let's get his own verdict now with Steve.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul, and the rest of the boys. Jack, a year out, 10 good rounds, a small cut, you dropped the guy twice, just about perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, I enjoyed that. Been a year out of the ring. Happy, like I said, 10 rounds in the bank, boom, we move to next year. We look forward to some big fights.
And you're not even breathing. Okay, let's talk about the big fights. Ramirez, Josh Taylor, you did a deal to step aside, to let them fight. You've got an agreement to fight the winner. What do we know? When might it happen?
So I stepped aside, hopefully it happens early next year. I've been told possible dates, end of Jan, beginning of Feb. Listen, I'll be at that fight watching. There's an agreement in place to fight the winner within a couple months, so exciting times.